A monk strides into the ancient temple's library. In one fluid motion, without a word, he pours hot tea all over a stack of precious Buddhist scrolls. The watching students gasp and scramble to save the texts, but the monk simply says, "There." It's a moment that says everything about Zen. Last time, we saw how Zen shaped the deadly precision of the samurai sword. Before that, we explored Bodhidharma's incredible journey from India to China, the monk whose teachings launched a martial arts revolution. But today, we're going deeper into the heart of what he actually taught. What exactly is Zen, the philosophy that captivated both warriors and monks for centuries? Most Buddhist traditions promise enlightenment through years of study and disciplined practice. But Zen? Zen flips the script entirely. It says, you're already enlightened. You just don't realize it yet. It's like searching your entire house for your glasses, only to realize they've been sitting on your head the whole time. This bold, almost rebellious branch of Buddhism influenced everything from Japan's most feared samurai to its most delicate tea ceremonies. But why? What made Zen so different? And why did emperors, warriors, and artists all fall under its spell? That's what we're exploring today. No complicated philosophy, no tricky foreign terms, just the raw truth of why a monk stared at a wall for 9 years and how that moment forever changed the spiritual landscape of Asia. Picture this. A lone monk sits facing a stone wall inside China's legendary Shaolin temple. No words, no movement, just silence. 9 years pass. This is Bodhidharma, and this is where it all begins. By the time Bodhidharma arrived in China, Buddhism had already traveled far from its Indian origins, spread by monks and merchants along the Silk Road. Monasteries in China were overflowing with thousands of Sanskrit texts painstakingly translated into Chinese. But the process of translation wasn't easy. Many key ideas simply didn't exist in Chinese culture. Some translators had to invent new words. Others borrowed ideas from Taoism. The result? A fascinating but complicated blend of Indian Buddhism and Chinese philosophy. Monks spent entire lifetimes memorizing sutras, debating abstract philosophy, and performing intricate ceremonies. The path to enlightenment became more and more complex, a long spiritual ladder with countless steps and rituals. And then, along came Bodhidharma. Legend says he landed in southern China around 520 CE. He looked at the vast libraries of Buddhist texts and declared them insufficient. His first major encounter would set the tone for everything that followed. He met Emperor Wu of Liang, a devout Buddhist ruler who proudly listed all his good deeds, countless temples built, endless offerings made. "What merit have I earned?" the emperor asked. "None whatsoever," Bodhidharma replied. The emperor, confused, pressed further. "What is the highest meaning of Buddhist truth?" "Vast emptiness, nothing holy." Offended and bewildered, the emperor asked again, but Bodhidharma simply walked away. That moment marked the birth of a new form of Buddhism, Chan Buddhism, what we now know as Zen. The name Chan comes from the Sanskrit dhyana, meaning meditation. No more relying solely on sacred texts, no more dependence on elaborate rituals. Instead, Bodhidharma taught one thing: direct experience, pure meditation. His students learned to go beyond words, to see reality directly with their own minds. And they were willing to do anything to grasp this truth. One of his students, Hueke, is said to have stood in the snow and cut off his own arm to prove his dedication. This was a revolutionary approach. It stripped away centuries of intellectual layers from Buddhism and refocused everything on the here and now. Each Zen master that followed developed new ways to jolt students out of conceptual thinking. Master Mazu was known for his booming shouts, so loud they could stun a student into sudden insight.
Master Linji often struck his students or answered questions with a sharp slap. Others posed seemingly impossible riddles called koans. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Or what was your original face before your parents were born? These methods weren't about solving puzzles. They were about smashing the mind's constant need for logic and revealing reality in one sudden flash of understanding. When these teachings reached Japan in the 12th century, they took on a new name, Zen. Japanese monks like Esai and Dōgen traveled to China to study Chan. They returned home with teachings that would change Japan forever. Esai founded the Rinzai school, which emphasized koan study. Dōgen founded the Soto school, centered around just sitting meditation. Today, these are still the two major schools of Japanese Zen, but no matter the method, they preserved Bodhidharma's core insight, direct pointing to the mind, seeing your true nature.
With this foundation, Zen would soon spread beyond the monastery walls into every aspect of Japanese life. From the sharp edge of the samurai sword to the gentle pour of a tea ceremony. But to really understand what these masters discovered, we need to take a closer look at Zen's radical tools.
So what did these Zen masters actually practice? How did they break free of endless study and ritual? Their answer boiled down to three core tools: Zazen, koans, and direct transmission. First, let's talk about Zazen, the beating heart of Zen. Unlike other meditation styles, Zazen isn't about achieving anything. You don't visualize a Buddha, you don't count your breaths, you don't try to force the mind into a peaceful state. You just sit, facing a blank wall, watching reality unfold. Master Dōgen spent years in China searching for the purest form of Buddhist practice. What he found surprised him. Just sitting is enlightenment. He called this dropping off body and mind, letting go of all effort, all striving, not trying to become enlightened, simply sitting in the fullness of this moment. Next came Zen's most famous tool, the koan. These are not riddles to be solved with logic. They are mental hammers designed to shatter conceptual thinking. Questions like, what is your original face before your parents were born? Does a dog have Buddha nature? The goal isn't to figure it out. It's to exhaust the thinking mind until, in a flash, a deeper understanding emerges. Some monks wrestled with a single koan for years until their minds finally broke free. Take the koan about Master Dongshan crossing a stream. He sees his reflection in the water and awakens, writing this verse: "Don't seek him elsewhere, far away. He goes his own way apart from me. Now I go my own way, alone, yet everywhere I meet him." Moments like this can't be reached through study alone. They have to be lived. And that leads us to the third tool, direct transmission. Unlike other Buddhist schools which rely heavily on scripture, Zen insists that truth can't be captured in words. It must be passed directly, from master to student, like lighting one candle with another. This is why the relationship between Zen master and student is so intense. Each master tailors their method to jolt each student into awakening. Consider Huineng, the sixth patriarch of Zen. He was an illiterate woodcutter. He couldn't even read Buddhist texts, but his direct understanding of reality surpassed that of the most learned monks. His story reminds us that Zen wisdom lives beyond books and beyond intellect. But here's what makes Zen truly radical. It points to what's called ordinary mind as the way. Your ordinary everyday mind, eating, walking, washing dishes, already contains everything you need. The problem isn't that enlightenment is far away. The problem is that we constantly overlay our experiences with judgment and thought. Master Nansen once told his students, ordinary mind is the way. The challenge isn't to reach a special state, it's to see what's already here without filters. In Zen, drinking tea can reveal as much as years of study, if done with total presence. A Zen archer becomes one with the bow, the target, the action. Even mundane tasks, chopping wood, carrying water, become expressions of awakened mind. As one Zen saying goes, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The outer actions are the same, but the inner understanding is transformed. It's no surprise that the samurai found Zen so appealing. For warriors facing life and death decisions, Zen's focus on immediacy, on action without hesitation, was a perfect match. Remember from our last video, during Japan's Mongol invasions, Zen monks stood on the front lines alongside the samurai. But why would peaceful monks align so closely with warriors? The answer lies in Zen's approach to mind and death. A warrior can't afford to hesitate. In battle, too much thinking means death. Zen taught how to move beyond thought into direct action. Master Takuan Soho explained this to Swordmaster Yagyu Munenori. The mind must flow like water. When blocked by thought, it stagnates and you die. This state of mushin, no mind, became crucial in martial arts. A master swordsman doesn't think about their next move. They simply respond, like a reflection in a mirror. Zen teaches no separation between mind and body, no gap between thought and deed. Even death itself became a teacher. Zen monks meditated in graveyards, contemplating mortality. Samurai adopted the same practice. Die before going into battle, they would say. By facing death completely, fear dissolves, leaving only clear, decisive action.
Look at Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's greatest swordsman. He lived in Zen temples between his legendary duels. His final book, The Book of Five Rings, reads like a Zen text, simple, direct, pointing to reality beyond words. The influence flowed both ways. Zen temples adopted the discipline of the samurai. The precise eating, walking, and sitting forms we see in Zen today reflect warrior training. Even Zen meditation halls are organized like military camps, with strict hierarchies and exact timing. This fusion of Zen and the warrior spirit created something uniquely Japanese. Take Kyudo, Japanese archery. The goal isn't just to hit the target, it's to achieve unity, archer, bow, and target as one. A master archer was once asked, "How do you never miss?" He replied, "I am one with the target. When I release the arrow, I have already hit it." This same principle appears in swordsmanship. Masters describe moments when the sword moves by itself, when there's no self, no opponent, just pure action. This is what the samurai found in Zen, not peace or passivity, but the ability to face conflict with absolute clarity. Even today, many martial arts schools incorporate Zen. Students meditate before training. They learn to move from their center, to act without hesitation, to meet life directly. It's the warrior's Zen, the true understanding that true peace isn't found by avoiding struggle, but by moving through it with an open mind.
At first glance, a delicate Japanese tea ceremony might seem completely unrelated to the razor-sharp focus of a samurai duel. But in Zen, they embody the same spirit: total presence, pure attention, effortless action. Take the tea ceremony. Each movement, the way the host handles the tea ball, folds the cloth, pours the water, is executed with perfect care. Yet it must appear as natural as breathing. If there's any self-consciousness, the entire atmosphere is broken. Master Senno Rikyu, the great tea master, taught, it isn't about elaborate rituals. It's about making one bowl of tea with full attention, nothing more. You see the same spirit in Zen art. Zen painters might spend years preparing ink, but when the time comes to paint, it must happen in a single stroke, no hesitation, no corrections. Look at Hakuin's famous circle paintings. One continuous brushstroke captures the essence of enlightenment. Whether the circle looks perfect or not doesn't matter. What matters is the pure, spontaneous expression of the moment. Zen gardens do the same through space and simplicity. The famous rock garden at Ryoanji Temple contains only 15 rocks and carefully raked gravel. Visitors sit for hours, drawn in by the tranquility and mystery of such sparse beauty. For the gardener, maintaining this space is a form of moving meditation. Each rake stroke is as meaningful as chanting a sutra. Even poetry became a way to express Zen insight. The classic Japanese haiku is the perfect example. Just a few words, stripped of ornament, directly pointing to lived experience. Consider Basho's famous haiku. Old pond, frog jumps in, splash. No explanation needed. The experience speaks for itself. In Zen, these arts aren't decorative. They are ways to practice seeing reality directly. Every action, if done with full awareness, can become a doorway to awakening. But let's clear up some common misconceptions about Zen. First, people often think Zen means sitting quietly, trying to empty the mind. That's not it at all. Real Zen masters would laugh at the idea. Master Dōgen wrote clearly, "Thoughts are not the enemy. They come and go like clouds in the sky." The goal isn't to force a clear sky, it's to stop mistaking the clouds for the sky itself. One master said, "Those who try to empty their mind are like someone trying to wash away blood with blood." Second, some think Zen means always being peaceful and passive. Tell that to the Zen masters who shouted, slapped, or knocked over their students' rice bowls. Sometimes awakening requires fierce energy, not gentle calm. Third, people believe Zen is mysterious and complicated. Actually, it's the opposite. Zen strips away complication. When a monk once asked Master Zhaozhou for teaching, the master simply said, "Have you eaten? Yes. Then wash your bowl." That's it. No mystical secrets, just full presence in this moment. Fourth, some think you need special conditions to practice Zen, a silent monastery, perfect cushions. But Master Foyan taught there is no special time or place for Zen. Your daily life is the way. A monk once complained about the noisy temple. The master replied, "You're trying to avoid the noise. Let the noise avoid you." The busy office, the crowded street, these can be your meditation hall. And finally, some believe Zen is escapism, a way to float above life's problems. On the contrary, Zen is about meeting life directly, facing every situation fully. As one master famously said, "If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. If you meet the patriarchs, kill the patriarchs." Don't get trapped by spiritual concepts. Wake up to this, right here, right now. Remember the monk who spilled tea over precious scrolls? Now you understand why. Zen isn't locked inside ancient texts. It isn't found in perfect meditation. It lives in every breath, every step, every sip of tea. From Bodhidharma's 9 years of wall-gazing to the precise strike of the samurai sword, from the quiet gestures of a tea master to the humble gardener's morning raking, it all points to one truth. You are already complete. The only thing missing is your recognition of this fact. Master Linji put it best. The true person has no rank, no form. Stop searching. Stop chasing. What you're looking for is what's looking.
And if you've made it this far, if you're sipping tea as you watch this video, well, that's Zen too. If you're new here, join our growing community by subscribing. And tell us in the comments, which Zen story surprised you the most? Next week, we'll explore another fascinating piece of Buddhist wisdom. Until then, remember, whatever you're doing right now, this moment is the way.